Hello, everybody. My name is Chrissy Lowry. I am the presenter from the Craft to Be Kind radio show. And so during lockdown, I can't actually go to the studio. I have set up a podcast. So this is the Craft to Be Kind podcast. Today's special guest is the very fabulous Amy Searle, and she runs Rainbow Poochy. How are you doing today, Amy?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You've actually been on the radio with me before, last year. So you're a pro at this anyway, because you've done lots of podcasts and lots of
interviews.
Lots of them. So tell us about you, not the business just yet. Just tell us about you in your pre-business life and what happened to you.
Right. Well, I'm Amy. I'm 34 from Essex. Mum of one crazy 9-year-old and a hubby that might as well just be another child somewhere in the background. I started Rainbow Poochy is my second business. My first business got folded when I had a major motorcycle accident 3.5 years ago. I was out going to my MOT, went in the back of a transit van and broke my pelvis in 5 places, completely shattered it. And because I was born with birth defects in my hips and my spine, they told me I would never walk again, because what should have been a 3-hour surgery actually turned in 7 hours, because I had to get a proper, not a proper surgeon, what's the word, a proper specialist down to fix me at the trauma ward. They had hip specialists, but not one that could deal with me. So what should have been 3 hours basic surgery was 7 hours, and I was told I'd never walk again. So I spent 8 weeks in hospital bedbound, and then I come home and spent another 6 months bedbound. But while I was in my hospital bed, I got bored and I set up another business. Because that's me, and I don't like the grass to grow under my feet.
No, you certainly don't. I mean, I've heard this story quite a few times now, because obviously we work together as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. Yeah. But it always makes me go, oh my God, when you're like all those breakages in your hip, and you had a helicopter as well, didn't you?
Yeah. I was flown to the nearest trauma hospital, so it wasn't even a little accident in an ambulance. The ambulance turned up and went, "We're not moving her. There's just no way." And normally after a motorcycle accident, if they think your back's fine, they'll move you. Luckily, my hubby had just left work, because obviously he got a phone call, got there, and he was like, "Oh, she's got spinal damage, she was born with spinal damage." And they're like, "Yeah, we're not touching her. We'll get the air ambulance, we'll get the doctor here before we want anyone to move her." Which was funny in itself, because even though I'd been given morphine at the side of the road, I have a phobia of flying.
Oh, do you? I didn't know that.
Getting to the hospital was I wasn't going in that helicopter. I see the helicopter arrive, and there was like, "No way. There is no way you are getting me in that. I will find a way." I don't care about the pain at this point. You are not getting me in a helicopter. However, legally, once you've had morphine in the court of law, you can be uncompass mentis. So my husband could override me and say, actually, no, she's going in that. She's had morphine. And because at the time we worked for a law firm, he was like, "No, she can go in that. I'm her next
of kin." And off you went. How far was the hospital away from you?
100 miles. So it was a 200-mile round trip every day for my husband to come and visit me.
And you were in there a while, weren't you?
Yeah, 8 weeks. Felt like a lifetime. Felt like longer than that.
I bet.
So it was just...
So, I think my children have just come in. If you hear any background noises, apologise. And I got a feeling someone says I've lost my phone. I'm not sure, but hey ho, we'll find out in a minute. I'd be the same with flying. This is an actual podcast, so what we're doing here today is recording the Craft to Be Kind podcast, and we're not going to be able to do a lot of talking back to the comments. One has just walked in. Talk to me about something else, Amy, and then I can do some sign language with them in the background. Tell me about your actual time in hospital and what happened to you, and what they had to do to fix you.
Yeah, so I've got, after the surgery, because I had to wait 24 hours from the surgery, from the accident to the actual surgery while they got in a specialist surgeon. And they had to file my hip because when I was born with a rugby ball shaped hip. I suffer with something called sacroiliac joint displacement, which means the tendons and ligaments never actually bonded around my sacroiliac joint, which is what holds your hips in place. And mine doesn't work. So they had to file my hip, and from one side of my pelvis, so if you look at a pelvis, it's a U shape. I have metal plating that looks like chainmail from one side to the other. It is metal rings all the way round and metal plates holding. And they're rings so that my bones, because bones never stop growing, could fuse to the metal and hold me in place as I get older. Although I have cracked two metal plates while I was teaching myself to walk.
Yeah, I know your story, and it's you are an absolutely incredible person who's actually was told you're not going to walk again, and you defied the doctors, didn't you? My kids are now
Yeah.
out, I can relax. This is the beauty of homeschooling. We will talk about that as well in a minute, won't we? So we've gone back to you being in the hospital bed, but you didn't give up, and your mental state. And I've known you for what, a couple of years now, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Your mental state is always positive. You're all very. I'm not going to let that beat me. A bit like mine. We're both very much like that. And what did you think? And what happened? What business did you start? Was it Rainbow Poochy in your bed?
No, my first big
No.
business was called Deco Chic, and it was paper folding. I was obsessed with book folding and card making, so I used to do a bit of decoupage or decoupage in the cards and decorate wooden things up with decoupage. And then I did book folding
So
for a
did
long
your?
time and
I've
made
got to. I
patterns.
think it's coming back to me now. Pete closed that business down when you got.
Yeah, it closed that
That's
down about a week after my accident. I'd had it for about 6 years and it was struggling because my pain levels were going up regardless anyway, through my back and stuff. And I was just spending too long at the desk and it wasn't doing my back any good. So we had discussions about closing it, but it was my baby and I wasn't going to. And yeah,
keep
the
going.
business, obviously, fate told me that obviously I needed to close it because it threw me off my motorbike. Um, but I've always been motivated because my parents are motivated. I mean, my dad retired at 82, my mum retired and then set up a business a week later.
So you got it in the family, haven't you, Amy? You're all flipping fighters, aren't
We
you?
were all
Yeah.
yeah, we just,
So when
you
did
sit
Rainbow
on both
Poochy
sides.
come? Did you? Was that after you'd gone home?
Yep, so I was home probably about a month and a half before I got bored. I had really bad pain in my legs, um, as you would, because with it being your pelvis, you can't sit, you can't stand. It's the bit that holds you all together.
Yeah.
And I was sat there crying in my bed. And Pete said to me, "You have to suck it up because Freya's about to come home from school. I want to see you. I don't want you
And that's your daughter.
her to see you." And yeah, it's my daughter. And it was like, right, okay. She was only about 6 at the time. He's like, "Come on, pull yourself together, just dry the tears, and I don't want her to see you in pain." All right, as you do the mum thing, and you suck it up and sort of hold it all in because you want to be strong for them. And when she'd been home about an hour, she gave me a cuddle, and she's like, "Tonight I'm going to grow." I'm like, "You grow every night?" And you think that's what you do when you sleep. You grow every night. And she was like, "No, I'm going to grow my legs so that you can have them." And then light bulb moment was like, "Yeah, I can't lay in this bed. I can't do it. I've got to get up. I've got to." So the next day I was like, "I'm going to start another business." And people was like, "Here we go." Here we go again.
Coming back.
Yeah. It's like, there she is.
So
She's
Rainbow
like, right,
Poochy
see
then,
you in.
how did you come up with the name for Rainbow Poochy?
When I had the papercraft business, I've had rainbow hair. Obviously, not at the moment because we're in lockdown. I can't go to hairdressers, but I've had rainbow hair since I was 17. Long before it was fashionable, I was always that weird little person walking downtown with the brightest hair. Always had about 7, 8 colours in my hair, and I was always known at craft fairs as the lady with the rainbow hair. So if people wanted to pick something up from me as craft fair, I'm like, "You won't miss me. Just look out for the really bright rainbow hair." and it stuck. And I was always known as the lady with the rainbow hair. So Pete said, "Well, we've got to keep that because people have always known you as that." I was like, right, it's got to be rainbow something. And I, as well as my dream catchers, I make dog treats and dog toys and stuff. So he's like, "Oh, what about, we went through all the names you could call a dog." And then he was like, "What about Poochie?" And that's how it came about.
It's a great name.
So,
I love it. It's a really memorable name. It's a really good name. You've got a lovely logo. Not that people can see that on the podcast, but they can go and check you out because you're on Facebook, Instagram.
yeah,
How else are you?
I'm
Twitter.
everywhere bar LinkedIn and Clubhouse. They're the only two I'm not in. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook.
You got your own
It's all
website
about.
and you're on Heartizan as well. So I own Heartizan. So let's say you've set up your business and then you started selling on Facebook, or where did you start? No, you're
Yeah, no,
craft fairs, aren't you?
I launched. I set up the business. I spent about 6 months getting all the foundations, as you do, and
Hmm.
I officially launched a week after I could walk for the first time on sticks at a craft fair. I
Wow.
sent my mum and dad to set me up,
You're
and I
like, right, I'm
launched
going to a
officially.
craft fair, Mum. Come with me. I'm going to take my. I can just imagine it. I can just.
She was like, "You can't even walk yet." I'm like, "In 2 weeks' time at that craft fair, I will be walking." And I did. I was sort of semi walking, but yeah, I had my sticks. She's like, "Oh my God, you don't even get out the wheelchair to sort of." I'm like, "No, I will be standing. I will be there."
You're
And that's how
determined,
we did it.
determined lady.
And then I had a Facebook page, which had already sort of claimed the domains everywhere. Um, as soon as the name was thingy, because that's what you do.
Yep.
Right, I've got a name, I need to claim it everywhere. And then set about the Facebook page that same week, and I fell across Heartizan. I launched in the November, and I fell across you guys in the January.
So it
I
wasn't
haven't been
long
going
until
very
you
long.
found us, then, was it?
No, no. I
And
actually
then
found you.
then you started. If I remember this rightly, you made different ranges of dream catchers, and you're really authentic. So you can tell us a little about that because I've got them in my house. And when you say it's
Yeah,
time to put them out by the moon, we do it. So tell us a
yeah,
little
yeah.
about
So I had a charge yesterday in the full moon. Yeah. So when I was 14, I'm pagan. I'm very spiritually minded, and I always have been. When I was 14, I sort of made friends with a shaman who was over here, friends with their children, and they taught me to make dream catchers because I was fascinated. I'd always been fascinated with dream catchers. So they taught me the stories behind the dream catcher as they would the ways of their people, and then how to make them all authentically, how to wind the willow back then. And as time come on, it was always just a little hobby when I was growing up. I'd make them the friends' birthdays and stuff, as you do. And then, obviously, when I was in the hospital bed, I said to Pete, I could do the dream catchers. And my friends started taking them to events for me. And I knew that was the way to go because it was like she was going 4 events a weekend. And every day she was texting me, I've run out, I've run out. And I was sending her like 20 a week. I was like, blimey. But I changed from willow to metal as time went on.
that. Hmm.
Because it's easier to get hold of in this country. The red willow and stuff over in America is so easy to get hold of. Over here, it's not so easy to find. Um, so I changed to metal hoops, and I've just put my own spin on them. But everyone still comes with a native story. They still get blessed in the moonlight before they go out to the customer. I don't have curtains up because at the night time every window is just covered in dream catchers in our house. And I do such a wide range now, from animals to traditional ones to heart shaped ones to 3D ones, Christmas bauble ones. I do all sorts. I've done rabbits, elephants,
Lights. You do the light.
lights.
The lights are
Lights as
amazing.
well. Yeah, yeah. I do the night lights. Yeah, there's so many. The key rings.
So we've
One.
our history is obviously with Heartizan You Help in the backgrounds, and you run a group for Heartizan, and then we did a craft fair. You need to tell me when it was. 18 or
We did
19? Was it 19?
nearly coming up for about 2 years ago
So it's
at the
2019.
Kirby Flop Show. It'll be 2 years this year.
Yeah, we
Um,
launched a book. I wrote a book. We'll talk about books with you as well in a minute. But I wrote a book called The Heart's Way, which has got Amy's story in it. It's got a lot. It's a collection of really inspiring crafting business stories. Check that out. And there's also some how-to sides of it on each page, on each chapter, not each page, each chapter to help you with different things of business. And Amy and I, plus a lot of other Heartizan crew, went down to Kirsty Allsop's handmade festival, didn't we? It was awesome, wasn't it? Me and you were hardcore. We stayed there for the 4 days.
it felt like a week, but we were only there, what, 4, 5 days? We set up on the Thursday and we finished on the Sunday, didn't we?
I can't remember now. I know we went there a day before we
Yeah,
opened.
because it was, yeah, the Thursday we set off at like 4 in the morning, didn't we? Because we all had to be there for like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
We all had quite a journey.
we did. I remember leaving at silly o'clock in the morning. But it was an amazing,
Yeah,
incredible week. Very, very hard work, but all the crafters made good money. We met Kirsty Allsop. She signed the book. We had a massive big cake from Dale. It was an amazing experience, wasn't it?
it was a wonderful experience. I loved it. I mean, my passion's in craft fairs anyway, so to do one that big was just amazing.
It was my first ever
It was
one.
the
So
atmosphere.
hard. It was
That's
hard.
why we taught you it was
Yeah,
fun.
it was good though. I mean, I would do it again. We talked about this the other day, didn't we? I would do it again, but as in all of us together going, maybe not as a partisan one. I don't know. We have to see what happens in the future. Of course, COVID has stopped that, so you've been pivoting, haven't you? Because
I have
obviously, how many did you do a year?
probably about 100 craft fairs a year. I travel the country doing craft fairs, music festivals, bike festivals. Even though I'm down in Essex, we'd do craft fairs and events up in Scotland. Um, as long as football was good, we were going. Because hubby had his own business as well, so we were like, let's go.
So
So we,
COVID's
we
been
lived in
a massive impact on your both of your hubby doesn't do his now, does
yeah,
he?
hubby's pretty much lost his business, I think now, and there's just me running the business now. So it's sort of a lot of we had to pivot very quickly. Hobby couldn't pivot because he was event based, but I had to pivot very quickly. I wasn't. I was okay at selling online. I was steady, but boy, did I learn very quickly that I needed to push myself very quickly. I
Yeah.
mean, I always had steady sales online, but nothing like I had at the craft fairs. So I pivoted really quickly. We didn't know whether I was going to get supplies in. So I started writing books. So I wrote my first ebook of the history of the Dreamcatcher. So I pivoted and I did that, and I launched kits, which kept me alive. Really, it kept the business alive.
Yeah, the kits are
Um,
amazing. We've had them and they are so cool. They come in any colours, they come with everything in
yeah,
it. They're reasonably priced and they're really the instructions are good. It's just something that the kids could well, we did it in lockdown one, didn't we? My kids.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, they're awesome and you could do vegan ones, can't you? Because my daughter's vegan.
yeah, yeah. I do vegan ones, so I do non-feather kits. I'll do anything really. If it's if you've got a special request, I'll put it in. I'm very accommodating.
You are, you absolutely are. And what else? There's a book coming, isn't there?
Yeah, so I've got so this lockdown I've been working on children books. I'm just waiting for some illustrations, and I'm working on journals, dream journals. And my passion is in sleep and dreaming and helping children sleep better. So I've got a sleep tracker and journal coming out. I've got a basic dream journal coming out, and I've got a children's dream journal coming out.
And
My
that'd be
children's
Amazon,
ones.
won't it?
What's that?
That would be Amazon, won't it? Available on Amazon.
Yeah, it'll be on Amazon, and it will go on to the Heartizan. On Heartizan, it'll be a set with a dream catcher, and then on Amazon, it'll just be the journal.
That's awesome.
Uh,
That's amazing. Really amazing. You've come so far in such a short amount of
yeah,
time.
for someone that only just knew how 2 years ago could just use Facebook, I'm now everywhere,
And you couldn't walk.
and I couldn't walk.
Walk.
Couldn't walk. I've been walking 2 years, yeah,
So
and I could just about work.
you're also doing guest speakers in other places, aren't you? Mums in business.
Yep,
If
yep.
people
I
are
do
listening,
inspirational speaking.
if people have listened to my other podcasts or my radio shows, you'll know that I'm a Mums and Biz leader as well. And it's a huge, big network of women, like-minded women, who support and empower each other. It's an incredible place to go and be part of. And you're doing those, aren't you? So when are you
Yeah,
speaking with Heather Rose is the director of events?
that Tuesday I'm
Tuesday.
guest speaking with her and the mid group, I think, or the main page,
So that's
about
February. For
1:30.
anyone listening, that's February the something.
Yeah, that day.
Yeah. So it could have gone
Um,
past. If you're listening to this in the future, it could have gone past. We're February 2021. We're not. We're nearly at the end of January, but that's when you're.
the first Tuesday of February.
Yeah.
That's when it'll be.
Yeah. So that's amazing. Is that on the actual main page?
Yeah, that'll be on the main page, and I guess speak in a lot of MIB groups where I can, to inspire people. I've made so many connections through MIB. I do wholesaling. I try and sort out collabs through MIB. I just network. I network up and I'm always networking.
Networking. I love the thing I put it on my group the other day. If you're not networking, you're not working. It's true, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's human connection, and now more than ever with COVID and everyone being locked in the houses, that human connection has been key for me.
Absolutely.
Kept me going, you know.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, the first lockdown for me, I was like everyone, really quite scared, frightened, not sure what's going on, absolutely worried about my businesses. My venue. I can't think of my words. Revenue stream is Robert Dias. I sell for Robert Dias. They closed down. I got like both Amy and I have got a lot of chronic illnesses. We couldn't very frightened about getting this. So I decided to take my mind off it and help with a scrub operation, if you want to call it, making a load of scrubs and getting them out to the hospitals. And Partisan sort of ticked along. It got very, very busy after that, if I remember. We made loads and loads of scrubs. I didn't make any in the end. And I'm not sure where I'm going with this now. I've lost my thread, Amy. What was I going with this? What we did in lockdown, the first one.
Did it not down? So I concentrated on, because I'm dyslexic as well, so writing a book's been a massive achievement for me. So I concentrated on trying to push myself a bit more, making the human connection, because that's what I needed. Because I had to keep my parents safe. So poor hubby was trying to make sure that I was safe, make sure little one was safe. But because I've got elderly parents, he was like, right, we need to make sure they're safe. So he was doing the shopping for them, and sort of while he threw himself into looking after everyone else because he knew he'd probably go under, while I was panicking. Because 80% of my revenue a year is craft fairs, or was craft fairs. It's not now because I've pivoted it around the other way quite quickly. But at the time, 80% of my revenue was craft fairs. Christmas pays for my January and February. It keeps us alive for January and February. No, I don't normally.
January and February is normally a real quiet time, isn't it? I'm really busy. I remembered where I was going while you were talking with this. I was going to homeschooling. That's where I was going. So in the first lockdown, you have to bear with me. I do have fibro and a lot of conditions, and my meds are due very soon. So Amy's very used to me. We're spoony talk to each other and understand each other. But in a podcast, you really probably won't understand what we're talking about. But in the first lockdown, I wasn't really, homeschooling. It was all too much, and it was a lot of guilt and all that. I'm getting a bit better with this one, but it's hard, isn't it? It's really hard.
I put myself under so much pressure the first lockdown. I had mum guilt because if I had orders coming in, I was like, I've got to do this, but I've got to homeschool you, and I've got to make sure the house is tidy, and I've got to make sure we're all safe. Whereas this time I'm like, it's okay. And me and hubby discussed it just before this lockdown, because when you can sort of kind of see it coming, we were like, yeah, it's going to come again. And we were like, right, what we've got to do is just keep our mental health safe, keep our mental health safe. And there's no need to feel guilty. Education is always there, no matter how old you are. We're always constantly learning. So I'd rather just keep her mental health safe. Obviously, we do learn. We do documentaries a day. I'm quite lucky because where she's not at high school, we're still at primary school. there's not so much of she's got to log on Teams and she's got to register for the class each day. And her
Mm.
school's brilliant. They phone round once a week to make sure the kids' mental health's okay, whether the parents need anything.
It's
It's because
hard.
it's a small
It,
school.
it's a juggle struggle, as we call it, because we are business owners. I think we're lucky in a way that we have a job that we can continue. There's a lot of people that haven't got jobs now, and it's long days. I think for me, I think I'm getting really quite tired.
Yeah,
I've got two boys that have special needs, so they need input. I can't while I'm here. While I'm doing this Podbean podcast or where I'm working, I can't be on with them all the time. So it's really difficult to juggle all that time. So you tend to be up quite late at night. Would you agree?
yeah, yeah. I'm a night owl anyway, so I've never really gone to bed before 1:30. But now, each lockdown, I've noticed I'm staying up till 2, 3 in the morning because I need to make sure this is scheduled, that's scheduled. Go on my phone and do the stuff that I should have done because I do everything from my phone that I should have done during the day that I haven't quite had time to do yet, but needs to be done before the morning.
Do you know
Checking
what? That's the
emails at
thing that
2:30
I'm
in the
not doing
morning.
so much now. I'm not worrying about if, the washing hasn't been done. Or I'm looking around my
Yeah,
kitchen now if I haven't got the dishwasher on because I get all that done. I've got my own unit. Go down to work. I'm not going down to my unit a lot anymore. But it's difficult. It is difficult. But there is light under the tunnel, isn't at the end of the tunnel, isn't
yeah.
there? There is.
I
It
can't
will.
remember how I've actually put the washing machine on this week. I think it's still the same load. It's one of
Yeah.
them nights that you open the door and you go, have I washed that yet?
I need to put it back on. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
as long as they're fed and they're doing some kind of schoolwork. My boys do need a bit of a routine, otherwise, they can't cope with that. So they've got a little bit. They will probably go back to school. I don't know when I'll get my jab. I don't know what will come first, my jab or going back to school. But we'll see. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, as long as we're all safe and happy, isn't it?
that's it. As long as everyone's safe, that's all I'm worried about at the moment. I
Yeah.
mean, my dad's just had his jab. He said he feels brilliant.
Really?
Um,
I know
yeah,
I've seen a few key workers. I've had theirs. My niece works in a hospital. She's had hers. We are on a pod bean. You are listening to Chrissy Lowry, and I'm interviewing Amy Searle from Amy Rainbow Poochy. But we are also going live at the same time because we know how to multitask in my Craft Be Kind group. So if you are listening, you can pop over to Facebook and look into Craft Be Kind. I can't see who is talking to me, but we have someone going, well done, Amy. What day are you on live on the Mums in Business?
Tuesday.
Tuesday? Tell me who you are because I can't see it unless Amy's going to check out on her phone.
Just checking. I'm
So
on it.
true. Whoever this is can totally relate to homeschooling. Put so much pressure on myself during the first lockdown. Yeah, I mean, the second lockdown I don't really think was a lockdown. Lockdown 2 didn't really feel like a lockdown. It was still at school. It was very different. But lockdown 3 is different again, and we've been there and done it, haven't we?
It's Sharon from Shazbat and Charlene from Irregular.
Artistry.
Excuse me, Charlene. Artistry. Brain went.
Well, hello for watching
See
us, and
the logo.
obviously, like I said, this is a podcast, so we haven't really been we have been ignoring you, but not in a bad way, because it's difficult for people to listen probably to our ramblings of what our way we're answering them. That's right, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
what's your plans for the future then, Amy?
More journaling. I'm hoping maybe later on in the year when it's a bit quieter for me. I want to go and do a diploma in dream analysis and therapy, so I can add that as another stream, so I can help
I
people
love,
analyse their dreams.
I love that.
And just more product development for me. Just more
Or
everything.
everything. What's your word for the year?
It is more.
Oh, it is more.
Yeah, yeah. So
I love it. More, more,
more,
more.
yeah,
You
more
also
passive
have a
income
group, don't
streams for
you?
me.
You also have a group that you help people with.
Yes,
What's the
I
group
have.
called?
Poochie's Dreamland is the group, and in there is a nice, friendly space for everyone to talk about sleep problems, dreams, what they're struggling with dreams, and we've got a few sleep coaches in there, and we have guest speakers and stuff that come in.
That's so awesome. I was just going to say, I see a little girl. So we'll wrap it up because you've got some mummy
That bed.
duties to do. Um, Normally we play music on my radio show, and you've done that before. Should we just say what I can't? I don't think we can do it on the Podbean. I think, the copyright and stuff we wouldn't have, would we? But what would be your inspirational song that you'd listen to?
Oh, I don't know. I have loads of songs that I listen to a lot, but I tend to listen to rockabilly music and 50s rock and roll to get me really pumped up for the day. That's kind of, it's not so much inspirational, it just gets your blood pumping and
Get
you
you
just want to
going.
go out and make sure jolly and happy. Um,
You've got
I
some
do, I
lovely
do,
outfits as well. I've seen photos of you. You're
yeah,
dressed up with your 50s
yeah.
on.
It's one of my little. I've always been fascinated by the 50s, and I'm very into the rockabilly scene. And I was as a child. My parents used to go driving, so I was always like dragged along to 50s nights and stuff. Locally. And I now take Freya. She's now got her own 50s outfits. I've got a friend that runs the local ones, and we go to live bands and watch proper competition drivers. Or
When we
there's
all
a
go back
real
to normal. When we all go back to
yeah,
normal.
yeah, it'll be that and my quizzes because I'm a hobby quizzer. I love quizzing. So the only thing I can remember silly little facts. I can't remember what I did yesterday or what I ate this morning because of the fibro and other stuff. But I can retain silly little facts like how much lead is in a pencil and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't. I
Um,
can't. My brain is just it's just a mush. Although I
you get
can run
35,
things.
35 miles you can get out of a graphite and a pencil. It's silly things like that I can remember, but I know what a group of unicorns is called, so I tend to quiz because it helps keep the brain matter going. Obviously, I haven't
Yeah.
been able to make the quiz team go quizzing or anything really. So,
Do they not do that online now?
well, they do, but they're not really teamed one site where we've got like our little team that meets up. So, I tend to just watch my quiz programs and do all the apps on my phone because I've got loads of apps on my phone, quiz apps on my phone. So I tend to
Oh
do them
yeah.
once a day in the morning,
And you do your
make
cross
the
stitch
brain.
as well, don't you? Amy is an absolutely keen and amazing cross stitcher. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but that's what I'm going to
Yeah.
call it. I've seen her work. It is amazing. We,
Yes, I do. Yeah, cross stitch. I've just finished. Normally, I do big meter pieces, so it take me about
Like
2, 3 years. Yes, baby girl. um, so I do huge pieces, but I do them for me as a hobby to wind down. So although I craft for a business, I also craft to relax. Um, so I do them, and I also do Decadent, which is a silicon-based clay piping, and
oh
I
yeah, I
do that and
forgot that.
sell that bedroom sets.
So people can
Yeah,
check that out
and
on your page because I know you've got live demos of you doing that. It's like you
yeah,
pipe
I've
it,
got
don't
live
you?
doing that on YouTube and on my page. Normally once a week on my page I go live, try and do a demo if I can. I haven't managed this week just because I was schooling and I wasn't well last week. I had a major ear infection, so I had 2 days off, which really didn't go down well with me. I don't like a day off. I have one day off a week, that's enough. I don't need three. um, and yeah, so I yeah, do the Decadent. I do more live demos of that than I do the dream catchers because there's a few demos of the
Yeah,
dream
I've
catchers.
seen
I think
them.
last week I did a keyring demo, um, and then there's the duct tape. I do duct tape demos as well of me making stuff out of duct tape. So I'm a bit of a multi-crafter, but my passion lies in the dream
Dream
catchers
catchers
really.
and sleep, isn't it? Definitely. I'm really excited for your book and your journals to come out. It's going to be awesome. So you can
Me
check
too.
Amy out, like we said, all over the place. Have a look for her launch coming soon. Would be really excited. Perhaps
Yeah,
we can come on and talk about it after you've done it. So you've been listening to Chrissy Lowry. I am the radio presenter of Craft to Be Kind, the author of Artisan Way. We are bringing out another book soon, which is really exciting, and Amy's going to help me with it because we're both authors. Boom, we really are. Check us out. Thank you ever so much for listening, and we'll be back next week. Bye. We're still live. I can splice that bit. I just wanted to say for the people watching, thank you for watching. Because I can't really say a lot when it's going to be a Podbean podcast. So Charlene and who was it? Sharon, thanks for watching.
Sarah.
Thanks for
I shall
watching. If anyone would like to come on,
catch up with you in a bit.
yeah. If anyone would like to come on the podcast with me, give me a yell, put a comment in, catch the hashtag replay. My brain is completely going. I don't know how I got through there. My words were coming out wrong, man. They were going all over the place. And I think I've got a group of authors, which is really that. I think it's called The Girls That Don't Quit, Amy. I don't know if you've heard of it. I think.
Oh no, I shall go look at that.
Do you know Sharon Crowley?
Yeah,
Part of
from
it.
Mib.
She's in it, and I think they have 10 authors who've got a chapter each, who write about how they've got through. I'm like, yeah, this is a bit similar to what we're going to do, but
Oh, is that the one?
don't think
Is that the
so.
one there?
Don't think so, because they're all in a chat with me. I don't think so. Is she in one too? I think it's different.
Yeah, Ed did too, but I can't remember what it's called.
No, it must be a
He did
different
Ed.
one. This is The Girls That Don't Quit or something like that. And so I'm going to be doing 10 podcasts with them soon. So that'll be keeping me busy in February. But we need some more. So I need someone for next week. Give me a shout. I think I've got some people on the waiting list for the radio show. So if you're on the waiting list for the radio show, you can do a Podbean instead if you'd like to. You get your own. Obviously, you'll get the Amy will get the link to this because I'm going to go and do it in a minute. If I don't do it now,
And I highly recommend you do it. Share it everywhere.
yeah, we'll help your
By
crafty
sharing
footprint.
it, blew up my business in November.
Yeah, definitely help your crafty footprint. There is a way I can share it to. Who's the other podcast places? Is it like iTunes and something else? But I've got to learn how to do that yet because I'm still learning. I only did my first one last week.
Been my phone anyway, so
Yeah.
I like TED Talks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd love to do a TED Talk one day. I think I'd be all right at it.
Get it on the vision board.
I'm going to do my vision board. I'm going to come and do a vision board. I will do that. Thanks for reminding me. I will do a live in here on doing my vision board. I will put that on. Awesome. I was trying to think of stuff that I could put on because I've achieved already. This morning. I need you to write this down. See, there isn't much more. I've done a lot. I have done a lot of my this morning. What was the other one?
TED Talks.
TED Talk. See, I'm going now. My brain is going. But I will have, if I do my TED Talk, I'll have to plan it around my meds because I couldn't go like this when I was talking. Listening whilst banging on the box. Oh, I need to do that. I need to see that all these things. Shower now. My memory goes when I need to do the listing.
You learn to translate after a little while.
Spotify. That's the other one. So I've got to learn it. I'm going to learn it in a minute. I'm going to put so what I do. This might be completely boring for you, but it's interesting to me. So what I do is I go into iTunes. Is it iTunes? No, I go into iMovie, splice out the audio, put a little bit of music in the beginning, like a jingly thing, and then I upload it to the Beam. So I'm going to see if I can do it with yours, Amy, to see if I can then upload it to other ones because I tried retrospectively, but it didn't work.
There should be some tutorials somewhere. YouTube's massive for tutorials on how to do it.
Yeah.
That's how I do stuff, like with the KDP stuff that I'm doing at a minute. I'm working, but in the background I've got YouTube, although I'm not really looking, I'm listening.
That's what I do.
Or I put YouTube on the telly, so I'm working and trying to work out how to do it all.
Yeah, that's what I used to do, not so much now with the kids, but when I'm down a unit I used to be doing all my sewing and have it on in the background because it goes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. Oh, I'm going to go and get this done. I need to splice off the end bit. And I'll see you tonight, Amy.
Yes.
I need a nap. Oh my God, I've forgotten something. We've got the Twitter first, haven't we? I need to let the ladies know.
We do, and I'm not quite sure. Yeah. I think, because I'm covering Sue today on AT, so I think she'd be up for it. She just said, like, she was in pain this morning, so could I cover her on AT today? Well,
they could just do. We'll be around, but not for all of it.
So we'll be around for the first hour, won't we?
Hour and a bit. We start at 7:30, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I need time to set up and stuff. But anyway, if you're around, where are you? In Mib, you can join us. It's not too late to join us tonight.
And if you're not in Mib and you're on Twitter, get your backsides over to the Twitter hour. Shop #shop handmade hour from 6 till 8.
It's
6 to
mental. If you,
busy.
yeah, you'll get yourself seen, you'll get people, you'll get exposure.
Yeah.
You can get a chance of winning an award as well, which is awesome. So thank you ever so much. See you soon.
See you soon.